Hello and welcome to the Smart Talk with me, your host, Simon from Audacity. This is episode 4 of the Smart Talk and it's going out to the XRP community today because it's all around the XRP ledger. We've had disappointing news about the native NFTs and we're also sort of getting dribs and drabs of news from Hugh over at Flare Networks about their imminent launch. So I just thought I'd give a quick update. Unfortunately, the XLS update for the native NFTs didn't go live. There was a bug that was found last minute by a developer from XTokenize. They develop a toolkit to make building on the XRP ledger easier, and they spotted a bug last minute, which they brought to the validator's attention. The validators rightly removed their votes, and how the process works, if you don't know how the process works, is once a version of Rippled that's got these functions becomes live, then it's installed by the validators. Once it's installed, then they can vote to approve it to go live. Once you've got consensus over 80%, so 80.0001 or whatever that figure may be, then it will go through this 2-week timer where it has to maintain consensus for 2 weeks. If it drops below consensus and then comes back up above consensus, that's fine. But if it's below consensus at the end of the 2-week flag, then it won't go live. So they spotted the bug and they removed their votes. So it started off with Alloy Network speaking out, and then Wind spoke out about it, and then Nick from RippledX spoke out about it and just said, okay, due to current issues that we can't push forward. It's quite a simple fix. Nick said it's like a line of code that needs doing, but unfortunately the way the process works is we have to start the whole thing again. So they will remove the flag, remove the issue that just allowed people to create infinite currencies and put pressure on people's reserves. Then they will test it, and then they will resubmit the new version of Rippled or the new version of the XLS update. Then it will go back through validators installing it, and then once enough validators have installed it, then they will start the voting process again. So unfortunately, it's not going to be any quicker than sort of 4 to 8 weeks. But it will definitely be by the end of the year. And the way the amendment process is set up and the way it operates is obviously for maximum safety. I like the 2-week process. I really like it. It means that people can carry on assessing and carry on looking, and it gives people more grace as opposed to, okay, we think it's ready, we're just going to push it live. It works. It's a really safe and consensus method. Whether we can get into the argument of it's controlled by 35 validators, etc., 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 is a completely different argument. But the whole process to me is a great vision of consensus and how decentralized networks can maintain. Because the bug was picked up and consensus dropped without any of Ripple's influence. Ripple were sort of last to the show on this one. And I even tweeted Nick and asked him if they'd be removing, and he said that they probably would, but they hadn't looked at it yet. By the time they'd actually looked at it, Weist had already removed his vote. I believe Rabbit had already removed hers. Alloy Networks from the process. So it had already dropped below a consensus threshold by the time Ripple got round to it, which again just proves how it's decentralizing over time, which I do really like. The other update is obviously Flare. We're all waiting for it, and we've been waiting for a while. I'm going to give the team kudos because they're launching a network to a large captive audience. There's a lot of pressure on them to have as little friction as possible on launch, and it's really difficult to do. The way that they are distributing their token based on snapshots from the XRP ledger, the way they've changed the voting process so you can stake to receive your tokens to a different address if your exchange isn't playing game with you anymore, which some exchanges have gone. Like if you had your XRP in Celsius, then you would be having issues. And it's a difficult task to do. We just launched a live product from, it's difficult to do. There's a lot of pressure to get it right, and the few bugs that you can have can cause massive issues. So obviously they've got to go through safety and security and safety and security. And as the code base is changing from the original hack and audit, we also need to look at, okay, it needs to go through a re-audit, which Hugh said yesterday that it's back in the process of being audited. And as soon as it can go live, it will go live. It's launching in a observation mode when it first comes out, and then it will, after it leaves observation mode, then obviously the network will be fully live. And the observation mode is just to test that everything is as it should be and everything's operating and how it acts in the wild. Because how these protocols act in the wild is very different to how they act on testnet as well. I know testnets are supposed to completely replicate the conditions, but for some reason that doesn't always happen. And these little bugs and these little fixes that don't necessarily show up in testing do show up on a live network. I wish them all the best and I wish them all the luck. I'm looking forward to seeing the functionality that it brings to the XRP ledger, and I'm looking forward to seeing the functionality that it brings to Flare from other networks such as Ethereum and other EVM compatible networks. There's been a lot of hype around it, so I'm expecting big things and I'm really looking forward to it. So there's my little update on the XRP ledger. So sorry about the news of the native NFTs, and really excited about Flare. I hope you're enjoying the Smart Talk. If you are, please like, please subscribe, please share with your friends, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Take care. Bye.